Nope, it's you. Sorry. The only person who already knew Hibiki's tendency to lose her memories is you, Kanade Otono Koji. Ironic, ain't it? You're the one who revealed that fact. Congrats, you scored your own goal. Kanade Otono Koji, she's the one who did it.
Oh, wait a minute, Kanade's the culprit?
What, you got a problem with that?
Well, not exactly, but she helped us throughout the last trial as well.
By that logic, Emma also helped out during Yuri's case as well. Wait, not everything has been confirmed yet, and we can't be sure whether there was an accomplice or not. Shobai, why do you think that these two are the culprit? I mean, I know I did the trial by myself because we were about to die if I didn't. But even so, you sure keep your brains only as decorations, don't you? The reason why Shobai is so fixed on Kanade being the culprit. Let's listen to what he has to say. Okay. I mean, I agree with him. It's the most likely outcome to me, but... Missing Abdomen Bruise Course, Pool Kate Records, okay. Okay. There are a lot of reasons to suspect. But first was the state of the corpse.
The state of the corpse? The dismembered corpse, you mean?
What do you think was the cause of death? Huh? I thought it was dismemberment. We don't know about that yet, bro. The files didn't mention the cause of death. The file said that something sharp was the murder weapon. That is true. So perhaps she was stabbed by a knife and then dismembered? Then she'd have some traces of being stabbed on her body.
Was there none?
Every body part was checked, yet there weren't any traces of trauma on the body. Oh, that's not true. Then how did Satsuka actually die? We have the bruised thing, right? Yep. Alright. Boobly 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 boop. Ugh. What? I don't think that's right. Wait, what? I'm confused then. I thought that was it. A lot of reasons to suspect. A dismembered corpse, you mean? Something sharp. Your body part was checked. There weren't any traces of trauma on the body. Is that not right? What? What am I missing here? I don't think it has anything to do with the abdomen. It's just that it's missing. Unless I shoot it there, but I don't know why that would be that. Something sharp was the murder weapon. Do you have to shoot it there? Because like, something sharp wouldn't cause a bruise, it would pierce the skin. I'll try that. I'll try that, see if that does anything. But like, the Monocross file said that, so how can that be wrong? No. A reason to suspect Kanade from the comment of others. Ah! Reason to suspect Kanade. I really don't know. I really don't know what they want me to do here. It has to be the bruised corpse. Because that's what they're talking about. I don't know. Maybe I'll try with the first thing. What Iroha says. I don't get it, but I'll try it. Hello, can I shoot? That's not it either. Okay, so it's not the bruised corpse. I don't see how Poolgate Records is relevant here. So I guess I'll try the abdomen. Dismembered corpse. That doesn't disprove that. I don't think... Oh, every body part was checked, but we didn't find the... Okay, I get it now. My bad, that was just me being stupid. I understand now. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, alright, whatever. I'm gonna save, but... I'm gonna keep going. I'm too invested to stop now. Wait, Nikke, did you say that we searched through every body part? Yeah, it was hard for my eyes to do it, but we managed to. What you said just reminded me. It seems like every part was carefully laid on the altar, but that's not the truth. One part, to be precise, the abdomen, was missing, right, Shobai? What are you asking me for? But the girl's right. The body is missing from the hip up to the part below the chest. It was also written in the monochrome file as well, if I recall correctly. The area around the stomach was missing. Wait, the fact that they deliberately got rid of that part... That must mean that there was some clue in the abdomen area. Ah, maybe they stabbed her there. They might have tried to hide the cause of death. But why? I doubt that there was a reason important enough for them to hide that. There was, actually. And what's that? You might not know this, but the stabbing mark on the body is different depending on the hand that you use. To be short, you can determine whether the stabber is right-handed or left-handed using the marks.
Really? But what does it have to do with hiding the cause of death?
They say that only 10% of all people are left-handed. The majority are right-handed, and I reckon that this might be the likely situation amongst us well. Now what if the mark indicated that a left-handed person has stabbed the missing abdomen? You're suggesting that the culprit is left-handed? Kanade, I'm asking this just in case. What hand do you usually use? Am I crazy? Didn't they, like, when they performed back in the last chapter, didn't they say that Kanade was left-handed and so she was playing with that? Right? My left hand, yeah. Bingo. That was amazing. You thought all of that just from the missing abdomen? How in the world does your thought process work? There's one thing I would like to ask, Shobai. How did you know that Kanade was left-handed? You did suspect her based on the fact that the culprit was left-handed, right? The girl did some performance thing on the second island, right? In front of the shrine. The guitar she used was left-handed.
You remembered that from that long ago? Wait, maybe all this time you were just pretending that you weren't interested in us, but in reality you were? Don't make me laugh. You might be under the impression that you have finally solved the case with your incredible intellect. But if we're talking about lefties, there are plenty of people here who are left-handed besides me. Like Iroha. Wait, what? Me? How did you know that I was left-handed? Wait, that doesn't matter right now. You always grip your pen with your left hand, right? How could anyone miss something that simple? And Shobai, you still haven't solved the contradiction of the gate records. You'll need to move the body from the pool to the ghost house in Block A somehow. Even with the inclusion of an accomplice in the crime, that is still impossible. I'm so sorry, Missy, but that ain't quite the case. What? Did you really think that I'd suspect you just from the stabbing marks? This is just a conviction. It's not like the abdomen was actually found and I had material proof of the stab wounds. I just tried to come up with a reason why the culprit had to go through the hassle of getting rid of that part. Then how did you solve the contradiction of the gate records? I'll go over them now. What do you think was the actual reason this contradiction occurred from both the ghost house and the pool in the first place? Well, an alive person must use their handbooks in order to go through the gate. But since Setsuka couldn't do that as she was dead, only the in records will get recorded. So when he ruled out the places without any suspicious out records, only the pool and the ghost house were left. Think about that once more. Only a virtual ID gets saved on the gate records, right? You all assumed that ID was Setsuka's just because it had no out records. So what? Just tell us already! Hasty, yeah? To put it simply. All of the gate records of the attractions can be manipulated. What? Wait! The gates already require you to use your handbooks to enter or leave! How in the world would you manipulate that? Who said anything about using your own handbooks? Monochrome never once mentioned that you have to use your own handbook. That's why he tested it out with Iroha's. Yep. It's all coming back now. He just simply stated that you need to use a handbook. Then that means...
Yep. You can use a handbook of another person to go through the gates. Don't lie to us. How does that make any sense? Well, it does. I tried it. So back when we first arrived on the third island. Oh, perfect timing. One of you. I don't care who. Just give me your handbook for a sec.
Yeah, Shobai.
Shoba, if you're to speak to us first, what's gotten into you? Enough about that and give me the thing. I need to test something. No, what do you offer in return? It's not like you cooperated with us throughout this time. And you, give me yours.
Me, but why?
Yeah, okay, we've already seen this scene. So the reason you took Aroha's handbook was to try that out? Yeah. Everyone, do you know what this means? It means that our basis of the gate records was wrong from the start. But even if what Shobai said is true, it only became harder or even impossible for us to identify who was who. Nope. If you assume that the gate records were rigged and reverse the thinking process, the case begins to unfold. My theory is this. Setsuga Shibakuro died at the pool, and the time of death was probably around this morning. Morning? Give me the records again. I'll go over them one by one for you. As you said, Setsuga Chibakuro went somewhere by the culprit's request, and that was the pool. Got that? If you look at the pool gate records, Setsuka's ID is probably IS3JZ2. Okay. Who went in at 8:45. DJ6, SX7, or should I say Mr. Kanade. Ms. Kanade over there entered 1 minute ahead of her. That would mean that Miss Little Sis left at 9:22. Only 40 minutes to spare. That's where the accomplice comes into play. I call it the twin sis as the accomplice, remember? 9:22 is exactly when she entered the pool, using the handbook of her little sis.
What's going on right now? I didn't quite understand.
Me too. Oh, I see. Kanade having her sis, who is waiting outside, the handbook from inside. The gates only check if a human being passes through them, so objects do not matter. The little shit was shown the corpse by the slightly littler shit. And just as we were told, she receives a mental shock and loses her sanity, becoming the best crime tool ever, an accomplice that loses her memory. After that, the littler shit left the swimming pool at 9:54, setting up the pool sign so that no one will enter.
Wait, what? I thought that the out record at 9:54 was IS3J7JZ2. Wasn't that Setsuka?
According to this theory, she would have already died at that point. Now that it's been confirmed that you can use a handbook that belongs to another, that would have been Hibiki using Setsuka's handbook. What about after that? Okay. The littler shit came back at 12:54, carrying the tools needed to dismember the corpse. She used her own handbook at this time. After spending about 5 hours cutting the body up, they both left at 17:24 and 17:25 with the body pieces. They probably get rid of the sign at that point. The little shit throws the sign over the gate at 17:24, and the littler shit puts the sign back in the swimming pool and leaves at 17:25. It's as simple as that. Here they can use their own handbooks this time. Now, what do you think will be the end result of the gate records if we follow these steps? The end result? Well... Oh? Hibiki used Kanade's handbook when entering the pool, right? Since Kanade's ID already had an in record, it would show an out record. So when Hibiki left through the gates, the resulting output would have an in record. I see. So that's how the pool had an ID without an out record. If we apply Shobai's theory, the actual reality of the pool gate records would be like this. 8:44 and 8:45. Those two records here would be from Kanade and Setsuka, respectively. And the out record at 9:22 was Hibiki using Kanade's handbook to enter the pool. The out record at 9:54 was Kanade using Setsuka's handbook to leave, and she entered with her own handbook in the tools at 12:54. Finally, after she dismembered the body, both she and Hibiki left at 17:25 and 24, respectively. Here, even though Hibiki was already inside the pool, this was the first time she used her handbook on the gate, which resulted in an in output. Thus, the ID without an out record, NU3OD2, was not Setsuka, but actually Hibiki. Oh. That's clever. Yup. I see.
It's getting a bit complicated. Could you give me a simpler explanation? Sora's explanation was simple enough. You couldn't even understand that.
Well, she is an idiot after all.
But, Wait, I get that you're assuming that the culprit used the time between 1254 and 1724 to dismember the body. You would need ample time, after all. But it took 3 hours for the culprit to return to the pool from 954 to 1254. And do you think that it would take 3 hours for me, the culprit according to your theory, just to find the dismemberment tools?
Who cares? The signpost would have kept anyone out of the pool anyway. You had loads of spare time. Iroha, you said that you saw Hibiki enter the ghost house a bit before 18 o'clock, right? So that must have been at 1755, where they arrived from the swimming pool. It must have been then that the twins moved the corpse to the ghost house. After all, the body was actually found there.
But how?
Come again?
I told you this before. How would you move from Block C to A without getting caught? The only thing Shobai deduced is how the gate records could be explained, and how the murder could have happened in the pool. Even he doesn't know how the body was moved, right?
She definitely has a point. The corpse had the head, body, both arms, hands, legs, and the feet. 10 pieces altogether. And how would you manage to move them without getting caught? The first ever record of someone entering the ghost house was 1755. Since we have Iroha as a witness, we can surely say that it was Hibiki who entered at that time. But by Shobai's theory, the culprit left the pool at 1755, leaving only 30 minutes to move the body to the ghost house. But now that we know there was an accomplice, it would take half the time and effort to move all the body pieces, right?
So each carries 5 total pieces? Do you really think that's possible?
I'm sorry.
Maybe they had some sort of bag that had the corpse inside. You know, the ones in movies and manga. Corpse bag. And what if someone finds you? How are you going to explain it to them? What if they open the bag or something?
That really is the main problem. Forget the time constraints. You need to stealthily move the body without getting caught. I just thought of an incredible solution.
What is it, Nikkei?
The monorail! We have the monorail that goes around each department in Satsuki Land. If they used that, it would take around 5 minutes from each department to department, and as a plus, you wouldn't be seen as well.
Oh, that's right.
The monorail. Sure, you can use the monorail to move without being seen and save time as well. Was it really possible for the culprit to use the monorails? Was it? Wait. Oh wait, I don't think it was. Because they left at around 1, right? And it does repairs at that time, right? It only operates during even numbers. Right? Is that what they're getting at here? Nikkei, I'm afraid that's impossible.
How come? It's definitely a possibility.
No, by the theory we're going with, the culprit must have moved the corpse between 1725 and 1755. If you see the monorail timetable, you'll quickly see that the monorails weren't active at that time.
What? Really?
Monokuro did say that the monorails were only active every other hour. That's probably right. I was at the Satsuki Land for the 18 o'clock parade. I don't recall seeing any monorails pass by. Monorail. Yeah, that's right. Newsy, you said it. She used the monorails.
What? But didn't Sora just say that?
Shut up and listen. First, she leaves the pool at 1725 and moves the pieces to the Block C monorail station. It shouldn't take long, right? She'll be moving within the same department. She then leaves the corpse there and uses Satsuka's handbook to call out Airhead Girl to the Mirror Mansion. Then the older sis moves to the ghost house at Block A, to deliberate to be seen entering the ghost house by the Bubblehead Girl.
She did it on purpose. Why do such a thing?
Probably to accuse Hibiki as a culprit in the trial. And we actually did so in the beginning of the trial based on Iroha's account.
Wait, what did you all think of me when you heard Bubblehead Girl?
I mean, you are a bubble-headed after all.
Yeah.
Hey, Kato, why are you picking on Iroha? Didn't you pick on her too earlier, Yuruko?
Why don't you pick on someone your own size, you worthless criminal? Go kill yourself!
I love you, Yuruko. My broken heart. Would you shut up for 1 second? I'm trying to focus, damn it. First, 1755. The older sis enters the ghost house to cut the fuse and put out the fire to make the ghost house dark. Next, she has to hurry, because there's another gate record only 2 minutes after she entered. Since she used Satsuka Chibukuro's handbook when she entered, she used her own when leaving the place. This way, 2 in outputs get recorded and she leaves no sign that she ever left the place. Y'all saw the parade together at 18 o'clock, right? The littler shit goes to see that, while the little shit goes to the Block A monorail station. The monorail will start moving at 18 o'clock, so she rides it from Block A to C, and carries the body parts back to Block A through the monorail. This way, you'd be able to solve both the time and the stealth issue. Amazing. It looked like to be impossible at first, but now we have a clear grasp of what actually happened.
And so, what next? Continue.
There's not much left after this. Hide the body parts somewhere near the ghost house. And after confirming that white hair over there left at 1936, go inside the ghost house with the body. Here you again use Setsuka Chibakuro's handbook at the gate. Since they used Setsuka's handbook when first entering the ghost house, this time the resulting output would be an out record. Exactly. Everything left is simple. Set up the corpse on the altar and create a pool of blood using the blood packs. And then it's finished. Newly reformed ghost house, now with an actual corpse. Now the ghost house gate records until this point can be summed up to this. Right, okay. I see. Still smiling, huh? How is it? This is the result of this case. Kanade Otonakoji as the culprit, and Hibiki Otonakoji as the evidence. That can't be. Honestly, if we consider Shobai's usual behavior into account, it's hard to trust him, but it's logically sound, and his reasoning is perfect.
Kanade, are you really the culprit? Did you really murder Suka? And I helped you without any knowledge of that? What should I do? I don't know what to do. Wah. Sis, don't cry. That beardy hag is just talking nonsense.
Got any rebuttals?
Rebuttal? Are you really thinking to yourself that you really cracked this case? Well, let's get straight to the point. You're completely wrong. Full of contradictions, again. And to marvel at this stupid of a theory. My, you all have questionable brains, don't you?
What? What part of it is a contradiction?
As much as this theory has holes like it's Swiss cheese, the main problem are two big contradictions. Shobai, you told us that after leaving the pool, we left the body at the station and used the monorail to move to the ghost house, right? And remind us, whose handbook did we use when entering the ghost house?
He said it was Setsuka's.
And you think that's possible?
Isn't it possible? The culprit must have had her handbooks ever since she was murdered.
Everyone, you might be able to pass through the gates using someone else's handbook. But only handbooks that are active are valid in this case.
Ah. Shobai. Shit, you're right. I made a mistake.
Ah, I see. Even if you have Setsuka's handbook, only Setsuka herself can turn it on.
Why does that matter? We had the same issue with Emma, but she used Kokoro's fingers. Yeah, couldn't she use her hands and she cut them off? No, bro. That was possible because Emma cut and kept Kokoro's fingers. Oh, right, yeah. Shobai specifically said the culprit left the corpse at the station. According to this theory, you would never be able to turn Setsuka's handbook on at the ghost house. It takes a long time to arrive at Block A from C, even at running speed. Even if you use Setsuka's hand to turn the handbook on before you leave, it'll be turned off by the time you reach the ghost house. You're right. As we discussed in the last trial, the touchscreen lock of the handbook's sleep mode requires the owner's fingerprints.
Wait, speaking of Emma, why didn't the culprit use the method Yuki just mentioned?
The method Yuki just mentioned? You mean cutting the fingers off and carrying them? Impossible. Setsuka's wrists were cut off. Her fingers were all fine.
I mean, you could just carry those hands to turn the handbooks on.
No, that's probably not it. Then we'd again have the problem of how to carry the body without getting caught. Even if hands are small compared to the whole body, they still have considerable size and you're doomed if they bleed. There's too much risk at hand. Ha. Maybe they managed to luckily carry the body without getting caught.
Really? Then let's assume that the culprit somehow solved this issue and let's go over the next problem. Can we really go over the issue that easily? Well, actually, we have a much bigger problem here. Shobai said that the culprit hid the body parts near the ghost house to wait until Sora left the place. And may I ask you where that place is? How in the world can you find a place to hide 10 body pieces? If there was a pile of body parts near the ghost house, anyone would have noticed it. It would seem unnatural if you hid it all inside a bag. But if you hide them separately, it would take time for the culprit to gather back the pieces. You're not really going to say that the culprit also managed this through luck as well, are you? Well, if you are, we have our trusty Sora. She searched every nook and cranny near the ghost house, right, Sora?
Oh, yeah, I searched not only the inside of the house, but also the outside as I was leaving the place. If there was a corpse hidden near the ghost house, I would have noticed it right away. No, wait, maybe it's not the ghost house.
Hide it in somewhere else other than the ghost house? Poor old Shobai. But we searched every other place as well. Sora, Iroha, and I searched basically everywhere in Block A, so there are no other options, Shobai.
Dude, who do you think I'm suspecting here? If you're saying that you, who I suspect is the culprit, searched Block A, I mean, do I really need to say more? What do you mean? She just has to hide the body in the place that she searched in. She's the culprit, and all she has to do is say, there was nothing there.
Fufu, so correct me if I'm wrong, Shobai. You're saying that the body was hidden at the complete opposite side of the park from the ghost house?
What?
The place I investigated was that area, the storehouse and beyond. I hate to break it to you, little Shobai, but that's a bit too far away from the ghost house, don't you think?
You little bit...
Wait, what about that? Is there a problem with it being too far? We can't move the body around when there's everyone running around in Block A, right? The culprit must have moved the body parts at least after Sora left the ghost house, which is 1936. According to the gate records, the culprit carried the body parts 6 minutes later at 1942, right?
Ah, so that's it. If you hide the body parts too far away from the ghost house, you wouldn't be able to retrieve them within the next 6 minutes.
Sora even said that she looked outside the ghost house, so she would have stayed there at least 1 to 2 minutes after that. So we would only have about 4 to 5 minutes to move the body parts. If you want to move all 10 corpse pieces within that time limit, you would have hit it somewhere close to the ghost house.
Wait, both Miss Older Sis and Younger Sis are in it together according to Shobai, right? So if they move them together...
I told you, it's impossible even for 2 people. They would have to make 2 round trips even if there was an accomplice. Even in the case that we hid it in the nearest storehouse, it's impossible to make 2 round trips within 4 minutes. Unless you have teleportation skills, that is. Teleportation? Then does that mean Mikado is...
Wait, even the rules mention that I cannot use magic in murders. You do remember it, right? You haven't forgotten about it or me, right? And what's actually going on here?
Shobai, is there another way?
See, they're all ignoring you because you made such an idiotic comment.
I think you mean they're ignoring you.
Be quiet in the peanut gallery over there. Was Shobai's theory wrong? Kanade definitely has a point there. What kind of method did the culprit actually use? Oh boy, okay. Here we go again. Oh, it's getting confusing. Okay, ghost house, fireplace, gate records, and fuse box. It's probably the fireplace, right? That's what I thought. So he's trying to think of another way. That last impossible to move. It would be impossible to move. Well, fuck. I hate the way that was laid out. I guess Shobai's theory was wrong. Wait, that means the culprit actually managed to move the body without using the monorails. The only method to do so is to just hope for the best and not get caught. I guess it's the only solution we have now. The gate records were rigged, right? In that case, the culprit stayed inside it stayed inside for 2 minutes inside the ghost house. Blah, blah, blah. So they hid the body and cut the fuse during that time. It would still make sense. Sora might have missed the corpse and was dark as it was dark inside. After all, there were no other possible time that the culprit could have caused the blackout. Let's try to find the contradiction from a structural standpoint of the ghost house. We can't afford to make the smallest of mistakes. If we consider the structure, we might find who's right. So now he's trying to think of another way. It would be impossible to move the corpse that fast. I guess Shobai's theory was wrong. This culprit actually managed to move the body without using the monorails. I don't know. So I have fuse box and gate records. Culprit stayed inside the ghost house between hit the body and cut the fuse during that time. Is that true though? I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my gut and try this. Nope. Okay. She's saying structural standpoint, which means it's probably something within the actual structure of the ghost house, which means it's one of these two things, I would assume, and not the actual time of who left and whatnot. Sorry, I'm just gonna brute force this for a second, because there's too many words. It's all confusing me. And I'm stupid. Okay, I guess it's that. What about it, though? Was there something about the fuse box that I forgot? I don't know. Whatever, I don't care. Let me just save my game. And I will finish this trial. I don't know if I'll finish the trial next time, but I'll finish it the next session that I record. My voice is tired, so I gotta take a break. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.